Hello and welcome everyone to yet another Alpha X production right here on twitch.tv/AlphaXSC2. My name is Rushy and I'm here today with season 8 of the Alpha X Junior Championships. We are so excited to be able to bring some more high quality junior content to the StarCraft 2 scene right here at Alpha X. So excited to be able to join you. I know that we're probably going to see a few more people bump in as the day goes on, because right now there's a little event happening right now. I don't know if you've ever heard of Serral versus Trap happening right now over on the ESL stream. So if you are watching that right now, totally fine, would not blame you. Definitely encourage you to check out the VOD if you are watching this, so thank you so much for being here. But if not, you guys are in for a treat. You have some of the best young talent in the scene competing for a chance at a $50 first place prize, which is super cool. We're going to talk more about all of our individual players as we get our setup in. Oh, I'm getting the interesting questions here. I got asked by one of our players, Rushy, if you could be an animal, what would you be? And I have to say giraffe, because I mean I'm so tall. But I also like to swim, so I said otter. I don't know if there's a tall aquatic creature. But it's so fun to remember that our competitors are below the age of 15. So that's sometimes the important question that gets brought up. So very excited to answer that question. And very excited to have all of you here. We are experiencing a little bit of internet issues. I hope those are short-lived. Oh, I'm going to have to move you about right there. Come on, internet, help me out. Causing some problems. We're just gonna have to see. Alrighty. Well, like I said, hopefully this will subside. We are going to just message the other member of our house just to be certain. We'll just be certain. Serral and Trap are on pause anyways? Really? Interesting stuff. Huh. Well, maybe it's just internet around the world having issues here. So, alrighty. Well, I kind of thought that we were going to just jump right into a game and talk about our series setup, but we have one player who needs to use the restroom. So, cool stuff. Let me talk to you a little bit about our series here. So this is the Alpha X Junior Championships Season 8. If you've never been a part of this production before, welcome. You guys are in for a treat. It's going to be a lot of fun. The Junior Championships is an 8-player GSL-style tournament featuring young players that cannot compete in the ESL Pro Tour. All players of 15 years of age and under can compete, and each season will take place monthly. So this is our 8th season of this event. we have a qualifying system. It's 8 players in our event. The top 4 players from the previous season are automatically invited to participate in this event. And then we have an open qualifier where we pick 3 more, and then we have 1 invited player. So for this season, it's a lot of Terran, a lot of Protoss, and 1 Zerg player. Today, we're going to see from Arog Fire, Ghosty, who's going to be our first matchup of today, but we're also going to hear from Magnath and Wannabe Byun. So we are going to get a little bit of a mixture. We're seeing our only Zerg player play today, but that Zerg player's done pretty well in the past, so not uncommon to see him go far in these tournaments, as he has been a season winner in the past. But instead, he is going to be up against his opponent. That is the 2-time reigning season champ of Season 6 and Season 7. So if he wants to advance on, he is going to have his work cut out for him in this first series. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into our first match of the day. We are going to be spawning on Everdream in the bottom right-hand corner. Our yellow Zerg player. Playing for Magdeburg Esports. Give it up for Ghosty. And spawning in the top right, our red Protoss player. Playing for Alpha X. Give it up for Arog Fire. So, a little final bit. Of information here. Oh, okay. I might not get too much long to talk here, because Ghosty is going to do a Bly proxy. Now Ghosty did kind of put that in a precarious location, but Arog Fire does not scout that immediately. To finish up here, it's actually a $50 prize pool, $25 for first place. Second place will receive $15, and then our third and fourth place players will get $5. We do have 2 groups. Today, Group A will be playing. Next Sunday, we'll be featuring Group B. Or next Saturday, excuse me, we'll feature Group B. And then that following Sunday, we will have the playoffs to determine the winner. So these tournaments usually go pretty quick. Now he absolutely does not see all of these drones going. This is actually unbelievable. Okay, so now he's going to see those drones transferring, and he's got to start wondering, unless he wasn't looking at it. Okay. So, both of these players, well known for being rather cheeky players with lots of crazy aggression, and Arog Fire is going to be able to scout this, but it is going to be a bit of a tricky task here for Ghosty to anchor this down. He doesn't quite have the production cycle that he wants in roaches, but those drones are just going to get right on top of this shield battery. It's going to force a cancel here and zone those back and away, but I think the second placement of these shield batteries is going to be way more effective. A little less surface area here to get those Zerglings and drones in around. Now, the Zealot is getting rather low, but once this first shield battery finishes here, I mean, that's going to be very, very, almost impossible to zone away. Oh, but that Zealot can't afford to die. Okay, it does get topped off right at the last second, so that Zealot will get a ton of value, especially since the second and the third shield battery will be finishing up here. A Queen getting added into the mix. It's a nice round of Zerglings on these Stalkers, but once again, so much energy on these shield batteries will keep this alive for the most part. Unfortunately, that Zealot's going to get enough damage done onto that Spine Crawler, and that's going to force out the game. GG is called, and Arog Fire taking game number 1. Gosh, I didn't even get an opportunity to tell you how these players like to play, and that is aggressive. Before we just had ourselves digging right in. Oh. Okay, it looks as if the stuttering may be sort of coming to a close here. So thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that the sound and the audio isn't stuttering, because yeah, you're right. That would absolutely be a pain in the neck. So very, very grateful for all of you for the patience. that you are bringing to the table as an audience member. So really do appreciate that. We are going to go into map number 2. It is going to be on Submarine. So we are going to do this. We're not doing a live event, unfortunately, but we'll still get that going and up. Okay, so map number 2 is going to be on Submarine. This actually should benefit Ghosty in the short term for sure, because of the short rush distance. But again, Arogfire not without his sneaky tactics as well. Typically, we see more of his matchup in the PvP realm, where he's very, very confident at his proxies, but also showing that he can get aggressive, at least on the defense, against his Zerg opponent. It is reasonable to say that his next opponent could possibly be one of Beyond, because he has made it into the playoffs of previous seasons, but it'll be interesting to see what our invited player has to say about that. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and get into game number 2 of this series. Spawning in the bottom, actually let's go top left. Spawning in the top left, up 1-0, looking to close out this match and move on to the winners match. Playing for Alpha X, our red Protoss player. Give it up for Arogfire. And spawning in the bottom right, our pink Zerg, playing for Magdeburg Esports. Give it up for Ghosty. Yeah, I'm feeling really bad, folks. I usually have fantastic internet connection, and we are struggling to hold up a 5K stream today. So very, very, very hopeful that this is going to continue leveling itself out. But once again, glad to hear the audio is okay. I keep glancing at the stream preview, and it doesn't look horrendous. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that things will continue to be okay. And once again, I cannot thank you enough for your patience and understanding. Really do appreciate that. Now, on this short map, it does not look like Ghosty is going to try and pull any quick punches here. He is going to take that hatchery on the low ground. It is going to be a hatch gas pool, which I suppose makes sense. His opponent, Arogfire, is able to get across the map rather quickly, able to get some good scouting off and poke his head in where it may or may not belong. So for Ghosty to be able to maneuver and get a proxy hatchery out on the map, far more difficult ask here, especially since, I mean, really, you're looking at a proxy going down right there or right here, and these are really easy scout locations for the Protoss player. Now, you're going to see Arogfire go into a Stargate behind all of this, so very interesting stuff. More times than not, we see a lot of Adept play, especially in the current meta, but a little bit of Oracle action, not going to hurt anybody. In fact, we're going to see Ghosty going into a little bit of macro here. Picking up his drone count. He is throwing down that third base. It's going to maybe devolve into a normal game. That's a little bit of fascinating stuff. Now this Adept is going to get a lot of information. He's going to be able to dive on in here. Should be able to pick up one worker before it blinks back out. And it actually didn't have any hit point damage, only shields. So it will be able to continue scouting. It can continue to be at least a little bit aggressive. I doubt we're going to see it blink in anytime, or shade in anytime soon. So it is going to play safe in that regard. Now, Stargate is out. We will have that first Oracle on the way. We'll be curious to see if a second Oracle will join it. Typically, the two Oracles are pretty strong. Does look like it's just going to be one at this point. Now, are the Lings going to scout that? Yeah. So the Lings are going to see the Oracle heading in. Both mineral lines already planted with a spore crawler, so that Oracle is not going to get a whole lot of work done. It kind of comes down to scouting this third base location now at this point. We are going to make that transition into a Twilight Council and throwing down some extra gateways, so it very possibly could still be a move into Glaive Adept. So we're gonna have to see what Arog Fire has in mind behind this for Ghosty. Ghosty going into that lair. He's more than likely gonna want to get into that Roach Hydra style play. He's already got that Roach Warren down. I mean, he does have a nice sizable amount of Zerglings, and these Zerglings are going to get a very important scout. They are going to see that probe come out here at the 5-minute mark. That is going to indicate that Arog Fire is not going to invest in anything too aggressive here at the time. In fact, it is going to be a Templar Archives coming down behind that Twilight Council. So this is going to be as normal of a game as humanly possible. We are going to have some Archons brought into the mix. Not a lot of gas. Oh, yeah, I guess he's got the gas, but I think he saw that he was scouted. Yeah. Yeah, he saw that he was scouted and didn't want to lose those High Templar. So, High Temps actually killing... Oh, I think the Oracle. Yeah, the Oracle did the killing. Okay. I was like, excuse me. How did those High Temps kill anything? That is 30 Lings in production right now. The worker count is rather similar. The Oracle will get a nice revelation off on these Lings, and this is just going to be a big Ling flood at this point. But that's because there's a whole bunch of Roaches already here. Some sentries get warped in, and Desperation throw down as many force fields as they possibly can. This is a rough situation for Arog Fire to try and play from. Shield Batter's going to go down as quickly as they possibly can, but this is going to be a rough situation, like I said, for the red Protoss player to play from. An Immortal finally jumps in, and that will finally push all of this off. But it comes off of the heels of quite a few kills. I mean, 5 probes, more than a handful of workers. I think the 4 sentries is probably the scariest part of it all. But the Nexus remains intact, so Arog Fire protects the part of the third base that is most important. But he hasn't stopped this entirely yet. Now the second push is going to be coming in. There are 2 shield batteries already in position. There are a nice amount of Zealot. The Zealot count is good, along with the 2 Immortals and the 2 Archons. This should be enough of an army to hold all of this back. I think Ghosty is going to continue to remain aggressive. He does hold that army lead, but what this does is this allows Ghosty to be able to continue droning behind this. So behind all of this, he has jumped up to a 71 worker count. He doesn't want to toss all of those Lings away, trying to weasel his way into the natural. Not going to get it done. I will pull the army slightly out of position. But once again, he's up to his 4th base. He's got that drone count. He's sitting at 69 workers. It's a nice amount of economy here that he can play with. And he's able to get into his Hydra production. So now we're going to start seeing that Roach Ravager Hydra that many Zerg players like to have against Protoss. We will probably see that transition into Lurker Tech coming in the not so distant future. I'm going to turn down the volume just a little bit. Okay, that's a lot better. It's a lot better. Sometimes it feels like even though you're shoutcasting, you don't want to actually be shouting. Okay, this is a little bit of a scary force here. Another round of warp-ins of those Zealots, but a great concave right now is going to make that very difficult for Arog Fire to engage into the third base of Ghosty. So Ghosty will be able to continue getting more and more army added into his mix. The more Hydras he has, the better, as those Immortals are not going to trade as efficiently into Ravager and Hydra composition armies. So now we see the Infestation Pit goes down. We haven't seen a Lurker Den just yet, but I can only imagine that that's going to be on the way. But we're going to have a little bit of a split run by here. Zealots to the north, Zealots to the south, and actually this is going to be probably a big warp in as well. would be my guess. I don't think that's going to stay at 4. I guess I'd be really shocked. Yeah, looks like that's where he wants to leave it for right now. I think he thought about it. I think he did put that into place, but he decided to go, oh, no, maybe not. Maybe we'll just back that off for right now. But a 4th base is going to go up as well. And that 4th base, I mean, it's adjacent. The 4th base of Ghosty, which is an incredibly risky play for Arogfire. I mean, this could be one of those high-risk, high-reward scenarios. But I'm a little concerned here. I believe the Warp Prism of Arogfire actually did get picked off. It did. So Ghosty with a very, very clean defense right now here in game number 2. I'm not sure if Arogfire has, or if Ghosty has seen this just yet, but he's got to have a suspicion that something's going to be coming up. He does have roaches here at the front door of the natural. Those are going to get a lot of damage done. The Warp Prism only now on the way, having to spend all of his Warpins to hold the door down, but roaches are going to pile on in. This largely immortal composition army will be able to whittle that away, but I guess he just decides that what he has is enough. One pylon's going to go down, and that will depower the cybernetics core and the robotics facility, but the Warp Prism was able to get out prior to that, so that is not as crazy of an order as anything else. So this is still a rather interesting position here. Now the lurkers are on the field. Lurkers have been added. So Hive Tech already done. We do have the lurker speed already researched. So that makes this... oh, wait, no, we don't. It just looks that way. I stand corrected. So this actually makes this a really, really good place for Ghosty to continue playing from. Trying to attack down that ramp is going to be so difficult here, but he's going to just try and jump on top of it. Those Immortals are able to take a lot of damage and a little bit of a beating here. Plenty of Psy Storms as well can start peppering down these Lurkers if Arogfire can get a good engagement, but he has to be careful. Positioning those Lurkers further back means Arogfire has to commit all the way in if he starts getting hit with Lurker Spines, and that can be a devastating situation for Arogfire to try and play from. And now we see... Oh my gosh, it is a double Lurker den. This is silly. How did I not notice that? Thank you, chat. It's been a couple of weeks. It's been a couple of weeks since I've last casted, so I'm so glad that you can help me here in game number 2. Oh, I don't know how I feel about this Arogfire. This is exactly what I was talking about. Now that Lurker range is done, it's able to pepper those units so hard, and that ramp makes it near impossible for him to de-engage. All right, good Zealot run by is going to get on top of tech buildings here. Really, the Infestation Pit is not what you need to kill off at this point. But the Lurkers are going to jump on top of the Protoss army here. They're going to get a nice flank on the bottom side, but High Templar storming everywhere. Arogfire cleans all of it up, and Ghosty's army supply just plummets. More storms go down on top of all of the Lurkers. A big warp in here. Arogfire able to keep his army supply at 110, and Ghosty just doesn't have anything anymore. The reinforcing Lings is not going to be enough. The 15 drones that he lost is going to be very difficult to replace when bases are just going to fall. 2 Lurkers left on the bottom side. 2 Lurkers, 4 Lurkers on the high side. What a calculated engagement here by Arogfire, and Ghosty, unfortunately, getting a little too aggressive for his own good, jumps on top of an army that he cannot deal with. And this army's just going to steamroll on in. GG is called, and Arogfire taking a 2-0 victory in this series. We'll be moving on to the winners match in just a little bit. Whew! I mean, that was quite the interesting play here. Both players playing very, very decidedly. And it was Arogfire in the end that was able to come out the victor. So he will be moving on to the winners match Ghosty will be moving on to the elimination match that will take place shortly after our third series. But our second series is going to be coming up here in just a moment. And it's going to be a PVT. It's going to be Magnath versus Wannabe Beyond. This is going to be a nice setup because I believe... Oh, wait. Magnath was one of our open qualifier winners. Yes. So he will be playing against Wannabe Beyond, who is in our Season 7 playoffs. And that will get us continued to roll in our Group A here. So, let's talk about a little bit of the important stuff here. Nightbot doing the work of the people, sharing lots of great information for you. So if you want to check out the Liquipedia page and grab all the information for the Alpha X Junior Championships, you can certainly do so. You can find the bracket out there as well as some more information about all of our players who are going to be making quite the name for themselves moving into the course of their career, as all of these players are ineligible for ESL due to age requirements. So getting some good practice right here in a tournament environment to help prepare them for the ESLs of tomorrow. Of course, if you'd like to help fund this event and fund our prize pool, we certainly encourage you to check out Matcherino. The Matcherino link is down in the chat as well. You can use the code AXJC8 to contribute 50 cents for free towards our prize pool, which is so important. We absolutely love and adore all of the people that help out by supporting our events, but of course we also enjoy having all of you in the audience as well. So if you can be part of both groups, we certainly encourage you to. So check out that link. If you are a Patreon user and you would like to support this event even further, we are always looking for more people to help sponsor this event in a big way. Feel free to check out our Patreon link and to see how you can potentially contribute to future seasons of the Alpha X Junior Championships. Now we are going to take a short break here and get ourselves ready for our second series between, Magnath and Wannabe Beyond, a Protoss versus Terran. You won't want to miss it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. My name is Rushy. This is the Alpha X Junior Championship Season 8 Group A. We'll be right back right after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are getting set up and ready to go for our next series. It's going to be a TVP, Wannabe Beyond versus Magnath, here in the Group A of Season 8 of the Alpha X Junior Championships. I'm going to do the thing where, much like other events, I am going to scoot myself over. That's going to be a thing that I do. I'm going to take a peek at the other main event that is happening right now. I'm not going to reveal any information, but I am invested in seeing where everything is happening. If any indication from chat is accurate, it seems as if it's going to be a good series. Alrighty. Alrighty. So, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about this. So, this is Season 8. We have had numerous seasons of the Junior Championships. Of course, this started all in December of 2019. We've had a couple of winners here. Our Zerg player who just lost in the previous series was actually our first winner, all the way back in December. And it was our young Protoss player, Arogfire, coming in second. Of course, Arogfire is the current reigning champion. Back-to-back, actually. Both Season 6 and Season 7 claiming the prize, first place prize in Seasons 6 and 7. So we're going to have to see if Arogfire can pull out a triple win or not. Gonna have to take a look at that. Overall rankings after Season 7 have Arogfire on the top with 36 points overall. Our second place player, Ghosty, with 32 points. And our other young Protoss player from Alpha X, in Exo Striker, coming in at 30 points. Going down and beyond, we do have other players that have traded in at least a few points, and we definitely have players this season that will be looking for their first points ever in the Junior Championships overall bracket. What will those points be used for? You might be wondering and asking. Well, we intend on having some larger events with these players going forward, and those points will help with seeding. And I wouldn't be surprised if those points are used for seeding as it is. I don't know that exactly off the top of my head, so I would have to dig in and find out a little bit more information about that. But the big component of it is that this tournament does have kind of a time limit for most of our players, as a lot of our players do exist in that 14 to 15 age range where they can only play for so long. Alrighty. Looks like our picks and bans are all set and done. We are going to be jumping into Eternal Empire. Once again, I'm terribly sorry, folks. Just having some rough internet upload today. I'm just watching the green box, or the box next to my my upload information just go green, yellow, red, yellow, green, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, green, red, green, yellow. I don't know if this is like the weirdest game of Simon that I'm supposed to be playing right now, and I'm supposed to boop, 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 boop. Maybe I'm supposed to be remembering all of these colors. So, but it is good to hear that it appears that the audio is still doing okay. And frankly, if I can keep the audio steady and we can keep the stream upload steady, hopefully things will continue to be okay, and the stream won't have to take a brief breather. So very, very appreciative of everybody sticking around and hanging out. Thank you very much for your patience and your understanding.
By the way, one Oracle should have.
Oop, I clicked the wrong button. But you heard Rotterdam for just a brief moment. Alrighty. We are almost set. We are almost there. We are almost ready to go. So once again, thank you so much for your patience. This is an awesome time, folks, to check out that Matcherino link. You can check that Matcherino link by typing !Matcherino in the chat. I believe Nightbot also cycles around every so often to share that information with you so you can see just how you can contribute into the prize pool. And folks, it is so easy to contribute to this prize pool. It's so simple. Click that link. There's a blue contribute button. You can type in that coupon code AXJC8, and then you log in with your favorite account. You can use Battle.net, Facebook, Google, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Discord, Microsoft, Line. I have no idea what Line is. I use Twitch because Twitch is super easy to use. AXJC8 is that code. And then your contribution's in. So, so easy to use. Please do consider checking that out. And then also, we do have a lot of extra sponsors, of course, through Lenovo and Cremo that are also helping us provide for this event. So if you want to consider adding extra money to the prize pool, you can always take a look at those quests. And usually they're like super simple, easy to click and easy to follow through with, and it'll add some extra money into those prize pool once you are done with those events. So please do consider checking out those sponsors, because it's without them, we cannot put on events like this, and without you, none of this would even matter. So thank you so much, folks. But we are ready. Let's go ahead and jump on in to map number 1 here on the second series of Group A, spawning in the top right-hand corner. It's our purple Terran player. This is Wannabe Beyond. And spotting in the bottom right, our pink Protoss, playing for Platinum Heroes. Give it up for Magnath. Okay. Now already, things are a little silly looking here. We do have a fake proxy here out of Wannabe Beyond, building that barracks outside of the main base. Now, this isn't a full commit. This isn't even necessarily a scary proxy as it is. It's just to get the Protoss player off kilter and to get them to do weird things they might not otherwise do. Which I hope he's prepared for, because Magnath has just dropped a gateway over in Wannabe Beyond's natural. Ideally, if this is scouted, this becomes not a big deal for Wannabe Beyond. Very easy to shut that down, throw down a bunker, and then you can kind of block things off. But as it sits right now, Magnath is going to go completely unscouted in all locations. I don't even believe that there's an SCV out on the map at this point. So there is a gateway back at home. The second gateway is out across the map. And it is just going to be one Reaper at this point. Now, a second Reaper in production as a factory is on the way for Wannabe Beyond. So this feels rather standard. Dare I even say the word. Okay, so now he is going to get in here and spot this gateway. And the probe is not going to be able to get anything done. And this is exactly what I expected was going to transpire here. We have the bunker going down. That stalker is not going to get the work done that it needs to, but it does have the range to keep that to keep those SCVs at bay. And the Reapers are not going to be as effective here, especially when more units come knocking down the door. All right, SCV under fire. He is going to commit in on top of that SCV, leaves the wall down. That Zealot's going to be running on in. But now the Zealot does have nowhere to go. Going to try and grab that, and he does pick up that SCV in the last second. So that starport is going to be slightly delayed. Second Stalker shows up to the battle here, and now another probe. He's going to get wedged. Oh, no. I think he needs to cancel the shield battery, but that's the building he needs most right now. So I think he's just going to have to accept that that probe is stuck for the time being. At least I'm pretty confident that probe is stuck. It looks stuck. The world may never know. That bunker is, I was going to say, literally a second away from being done. And now with that bunker being able to be complete, the Manor Mule. I would not be so confident here, Wannabe Beyond. I would not be so confident. Throwing down the Manor Mule, trying to get the repair on that Hellion. There are still more Stalkers in production here. Now this bunker is going to get targeted down. Some good target fire goes down onto the weaker of the three Stalkers. But the pull is going to be very, very strong here. And with a Cyclone, that Cyclone will zone this out, at least for a tiny amount of time. Warp Gate now officially done. Wannabe Beyond gonna try and come in here with a Hellion. Scouts the fact that there is no second base, at least at this point, and will realize that this is still rather all in, so he has got to protect this barracks as it sits right now. But there is nothing back at home to deal with this. I guess there is a shield battery, and the shield battery will do a nice job of keeping everything nice and touched up. And that was it. More gateways getting added in here. That Stalker count starting to get a little dangerous. The Observer at least helping it get a little bit of value here. But the loss of the supply depot wall is going to be noticeable here by Wannabe Beyond. However, if he can hold this out, I think he is going to be able to claim victory here in game number 1. That command center is going to be ready to move on site and more than likely going to come out to that third base location, which seems like a logical place for it to go at this point. Definitely not into the natural, at least not right yet. Okay, one tank added into the mix. That might be enough to put Magnath all the way back. But I mean, I don't think he's got anywhere to go. He still is on one base. There's another Hellion moving out to go try and deal damage. In fact, I think it's the same one. But there's one Stalker back at home. The shield battery will also continue to deal the defense coverage that it needs. And a Warp Prism will help make this at least a little bit better. He's going to force Wannabe Beyond to be repositioning to avoid the flank on the left. Yeah, now the Hellion got no work done. I don't even know if it went into the base. All right, this is starting to look pretty scary here for Magnath. I mean, he's all the way in on this. Nice little drop on those Immortals, but one Immortal immediately getting picked off. There's still two tanks here. Those tanks getting so much damage done. The Vikings come back from the party on the north side of the map. We'll clean that off. And I just don't see a scenario where Magnath is able to break this. I mean, two tanks is dang near impossible to try and get on top of, especially when there is a bunker that is actually full of SCVs right now. And one Reaper. Very interesting. Yeah, and no second base. I mean, if he builds a second base behind this, this easily can be a transitionable game, but not going to see that transpire at this point. I mean, getting some nice splash damage off onto his own tech lab on the factory, but I mean, yeah, it's just going to be too much. All of these tanks are going to be protected here. In fact, they get unsieged. They're going to clean up all of those. GG is called. I want to be beyond with a great hold here in game number 1. Well played. And that was, I think, it was possibly what Wannabe Beyond was looking for in that specific type of play style. Seeing if he could bait his opponent into getting aggressive and playing weird, and then just kind of planning on that, making it so he could prepare and anchor down that front and count on the fact that his opponent would go all the way in. So right now worked out for him in game number 1. We'll have to see if game number 2 will bring the same type of strategy or if it will bring more of a macro focus like it did in our first series. So that will be coming up here very, very soon. I answered a no one has asked, anyone else's portraits reset to the default for their race? I actually don't know. I'd have to take a look. Yo, what's up, Sun Lily? And any engineer and everyone hanging out in the Twitch chat. Hello. I always keep my eye on you, Twitch chat. So if you have questions, if you have comments, feel free to share them. If you have comments about any of these wonderful sponsors below me, I certainly encourage you to check those out and make them known, because we have got a lot of amazing people that help make this event possible, like Team Exxon, Demonium, Global Clan, and Sniper on top of it all. So also, since Sun Lily's in the chat, can we give her some love for this amazing redo of the Alpha X graphic assets? Because the first logo was awesome to begin with. I thought it was super cool. But the new logo and the new overlay here is just, we're so happy. I'm so happy. I'll speak for myself. But I know, as an organization, that this is awesome. And we all appreciate everything that Sun Lily brings to Alpha X. So we're very grateful for her. But please, share a little love with her in the chat. I know that she would really appreciate that. We're going to jump into map number 2, folks. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ice and Chrome. It's our purple Terran player, looking for one more win to move on to the winner's match. Give it up for Wannabe Beyond. And spawning in the top right, our pink Protoss needs to win 2 in a row if he wants to move on to the winner's match. Playing for Platinum Heroes. Give it up for Magnet. And Platinum Heroes? Yeah, I got it right. I got it right. There's always that brief moment of of nervousness. There's always a lot of confidence in the voice, and that's what I always go for, but there's always that brief moment of, oh shoot, did I say the right name? Oh, hold on just a second here. Oh, excuse me. I had to sneeze there for a moment. I figured I didn't need to sneeze into your ear. Looks like we got ourselves a little bit of an interesting scenario here. So here's what I find interesting about this. It's going to be double gas, and that double gas is scouted. I was gonna say, we've seen Wannabe Beyond do this before, where he will take all of his tech buildings and build them separately with each other. But This time, with that double gas, it is going to be a proxy Ghost Academy. So we're going to have to see what Wannabe Beyond can come up with here. He's actually already in to the main base with his Reaper. Reaper's already picked up 2 kills. I mean, that's great damage here. Magnath does a nice job of mitigating the incurring damage. There's a little bit of probe micro. But now we're going to see ghosts on the production tab here. We do have personal cloaking devices coming in as well. It's going to be a full wall off back at home. So it's going to be Wannabe Beyond going for the full aggression. And Magnath has not had a chance to spot this just yet. Has not made it all the way up into that top corner to see what is on the way. And only now is he going to be able to get this spotted. I mean, this ghost is almost going to have to use... oh, I mean, it's a good EMP, but... it was too little, too late, I'm afraid. So that's actually kind of big damage here. Killing one of those ghosts almost immediately. Now is the ghost faster? The ghost is faster. Oh, but the third stock is going to make this impossible. Are you kidding me? He's going to be able to get in. Now, how do I feel about all of this? Not great. There's a second base already up for Magnath, so Magnath is going to have that covered. This cloak is already running very, very low. There's a shield battery. I mean, I don't even think he needs to pull. Like, he really doesn't. Because he's got good coverage with the shield battery, and the barracks is already done. Now, Wannabe Beyond does get a base down behind this, so this could be a lot worse of a scenario. But yeah, I mean, that barracks is just going to float there. Eventually, it is going to start burning down, and it is going to die. So now what does that leave him with back at home? He does get his starport down in time, so that's at least a plus. One ghost all the way back at home sitting in the bunker. Once again, not what you're looking for. That is a nuke. It's going to be one nuke that if Magnath does not spot that will be in Wannabe Beyond's arsenal. But I'm a little conflicted. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about this yet still. That worker count is actually dead even here, 35 to 34, but keep in mind that Wannabe Beyond will have access to not only a nuke, but he has access to mules. Oh. I don't know that you want to waste that nuke on one probe. I don't know, can you cancel a nuke? It's actually a good question. I think Magnath's going to run away with this one. He's already getting out to his third base here. The Stalker is going to knock down a lot of the health on this building. Stalkers are actually going to get recalled here, so Wannabe Beyond going to be able to secure this. But it's that third Nexus that scares me. I mean, Wannabe Beyond's going to be on a significant timer here at this point. Does throw down a bunch of mules, gets his 2 gases, and he's going to transition into a fusion core. So we are going to see a battle cruiser on the way as the next tech path. But I mean, Stalkers are going to be really good against battle cruiser. We're already up to Colossi, so that, I mean, that could potentially be a positive bright spot here for our Protoss, or for our Terran player. But the supply certainly would lean in Magnath's favor as it sits right now. So we're going to have to see what Wannabe Beyond can get done. Do we have any nukes? No nukes at this time. So the Ghost is going to get out. Do just a little bit of scouting. Does actually get spotted by the observer, but I think Magnath is just going to try and go out for a push here once he's got a second Colossus. Certainly would not surprise me. More gateways coming down. There is another nuke finally in production. So that Ghost is going to try and go in for a little bit of pain. And with 124 plus energy, I mean, that's not a bad place to play from. All right, what's the Observer going to see here? Observer just going to see just a nice potpourri of units and all sorts of good stuff happening here. Oh, but it is going to get cleaned up. Good scan. All right, Ghost. Ghost went all the way back home. Excuse me, Ghost. Supposed to be across the map with that nuke, my dude. I think he's really worried about the push coming out here. Ooh, 2 battle cruisers coming out at a time. What it seems to be. Wannabe Beyond gonna jump up to that 4th base really, really fast. So economically, things will start to ultimately swing back in his favor. But take a look at that income graph. It's mules alone anchoring down any income advantage that Wannabe Beyond has in this game. 4th base on the way for both players, so that should be on site about the same time for both. Now, is he going to be able to get that? Yeah, he will. Oh. Literal seconds before. All right. So battle cruisers are now officially out onto the map. That should start eliciting a bigger response here of stalkers by Magnath. Magnath's got Blink. Blink's on the way. So that should be an okay place for him to play from. But, I mean, right now this is a bit of kind of a stagnant game between our players. Both players just staying in their own corner. Magnath really not moving out on the map at all at this point. And just lots of light pressure from Wannabe Beyond. Cool. I was like, let's look at the front side of this. Make it look cool. But no. It's always the aft that we look for, right? Is that gonna be a 5th base? That's just gonna be a planetary at this point, I'm sure of it. Yeah, okay. All right, so Wannabe Beyond gonna be setting up for a bit of a Sim City here back at home. Gonna grab that planetary fortress to help anchor down some defense. No? What? Wait. I'm confused. I will admit that I am confused. Is this just for scans then? Must be. Okay, that one's gonna be a planetary for sure. I would be stunned if it wasn't. But now we've got 2 opponents here, just kind of getting up to their tier 2 and tier 3 tech. 2 more battle cruisers on the way for Wannabe Beyond. How many battle cruisers are we at the moment? 5. 5 on the way, or 5 on the field. 2 more on the way. We do have 1-1 in production as well, and we are grabbing 2-2 for our Protoss player, who is getting just a rather traditional all-in army here. Now the Stalkers are going to be a good staple against the battle cruisers. So we'll have to see how things continue to transpire here. So here we go. We're gonna finally get a little bit of action here. It's been dry for most of this game, so we're gonna have to see how things go. Big Blink forward is gonna grab one of those battle cruisers. Yeah, those battle cruisers were not respecting those Blink stalkers in any way, shape, or form. Big Blink down. going to grab a second battle cruiser. One was able to leap away. But I don't think Wannabe Beyond really wants to tear away that much here. Oh, these are not going to get to finish. Battle cruisers will leap over onto the main portion of the army, and this is actually a scary engagement here for Magnath, as he doesn't have a whole lot that shoots up, only now warping in those stalkers to assist. Yeah, I mean, talk about just a patient game by both of our players. All right, good scans going down, looking for that 5th base. I don't know if that scan is going to see the probe incoming. In fact, I don't see the probe incoming. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I think that's going to go relatively unscouted right now. These command centers not even being allowed to finish. SCVs, where are they going? Excuse me? Is he already trying to offload supply? What? Okay. An interesting choice. And Magnath's just going to let him have it. Right. Okay, Magnath going to rotate to the top side here. Tank's in position to help mitigate a little bit of the damage. And I think that ghost was picked off. Yeah, no damage in that main. All of those workers were saved and spared. And good Yamato's going to get down on top of those high-value targets here, but those are not going to be able to blink away fast enough. 3 battle cruisers already down and out. The stalkers getting more and more damage here onto these high-value air units. This isn't a whole lot to deal with them at this time. And that is just a lot of good damage on both sides, but it looks like Wannabe Beyond going to come out just a little bit ahead. One battle cruiser actually popping out right before that starport gets cleared up. And once again, we kind of stagnate a little bit. Both players just being so patient. 5 Tempest in the transition here for Magnath. So we have that fleet beacon on the field somewhere. There it is. Weaseled away in the top. Look at that. Yet another scenario where we have adjacent bases by both of our players. Oh, is this not looping? Yeah, it's looping. Whew. Yeah, so neither player really taking a solid lead one way or the other at this point for either side. I mean, we've got 3-3 on the way from the armories for all of those vehicle weapons and vehicle armor. It is a big transition into Tempest, so this is going to be a good spot for Magnath to try and play from. So I have some good confidence in that. We are going to see a move out to what is a 6th base. And I don't think this base is ever going to see the light of day. In fact, it is just going to get chunked away as quickly as possible here. Oh, that's going to be some big Yamato cannons on top of these Tempests, and actually doing a lot less damage than I suspected. With this being a large Air Force army and a large siege army, I mean, this is almost a perfect army composition. These stalkers are going to have to do a big forward if they want to stay out of the tank fire, but they don't want to commit. So they're just going to walk backwards out of the range of the tanks and fire on top of those battle cruisers. But it's a large exchange, but I think Wannabe Beyond has overextended. Zealot's going to charge on in and get on top of those tanks. And once those tanks go down, there's not a whole lot to anchor this back. And suddenly we start seeing the majority of the blood drawn here in this game number 2. Magnath trying to hold on to put himself into the winner's match. Oh, that one battle cruiser is so dangerously low. Oh, but the repair. Oh, the repair. The repair clutches it out. But this is going to be a base that goes down. So that's one orbital wiped off of the map, plus another base here that did go down on top of that. And these are some big Stalker warp-ins. I don't know if Wannabe Beyond has what it takes here. 91 to 54. 177 to 113. He's going to try and make the most of what he's got. A big blink forward, going to get on top of more of this army. More of these battle cruisers continue to fall. He does run to the cover and safety of this planetary fortress, but there's no workers here. All of the workers have been pulled into the fight to deal repairs, and there is just not a lot left. And Wannabe Beyond is going to have to pull this out in map number 3. I firmly believe 21 workers going down, and that's all it takes. Magnath, with an 18-minute slugfest, wins game number 2. And that means we're going to have a rubber match. So should be a good place to play from. So that means we're going to head to Everdream. All right, let's double check and make sure that that is also looping, and I believe it is already looping. Wonderful. Once again, thank you everyone for all of your patience. I'm so sorry at all of the stuttering. I wish that I could fix that. I wish I could reach into the internet pipes and clear out whatever's jamming up our upload today. But fortunately, our internet connection seems to be strong enough that we're not dropping at all. We're not losing anything more than just a frame. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that it stays that way. But thank you so much for hanging out. You guys are watching Group A of the Season 8 of the Alpha X Championship right here at twitch.tv/AlphaXSC2. My name is Ro8, and we're jumping into game number 3 to see who's going to move on to face Arogvire in the winner's match of this Group A. And so hopefully all of you are having a fantastic weekend. You know, we're getting close to August. Oh my gosh, it's only a couple of short weeks away. And soon that means life will try to return to normal. I know the world is still dealing with a little bit of the craziness, COVID-19. Some places more than others. My place being one of those that's more. Ah. Excuse me. Thank you. Making this difficult on me here, StarCraft. Alrighty, let's go. Let's jump on in. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Everdream, our pink Protoss, looking for one more win to move on to the winner's match. For Platinum Heroes, give it up for Magnath. And spawning in the bottom left, our purple Terran. Looking for his second win as well. Give it up for Wannabe Beyond. Okay. Now, Everdream's a little bit easier to hide tech out onto the map. Very similar in the vein of Ice and Chrome in terms of proxy locations to choose from. But we'll have to see if Wannabe Beyond goes for that this time. I could see a scenario where he chooses not to, where he wants to maybe play it a little more straight up. But we're going to keep an eye on that mini-map. We're going to see where all of those buildings go down. It is just going to be one gas. So certainly not anything as crazy as a Ghost Academy proxy. So at least that much we can potentially count on. And I actually think that might be like the biggest cheese, right? If you're a person that likes to proxy and to be aggressive and to play really weird styles and compositions, I mean, the ultimate cheese for a player who knows you is to play normal and to play standard, because that is in the same vein as cheese, something that your opponent may or may not see coming. Alrighty, so the Reaper's gonna get in, try and get a little bit of work done, but is not going to accomplish that goal in its full entirety. Oh, yeah, I'll get picked off. It's a really nice micro there by Magnath. Okay, so we got a Twilight Council going down here along with a robotics facility. Could be interesting here. Not uncommon to see large adept pressure here in the beginning of the game against Terran. It's obviously adepts. Pretty decent against Marines. Would also not be surprised to see quick charge with Zealots. Looks like second and third gateway going down on top of it. Oh, it's just going to be straight up into a Dark Shrine. So this is actually a pivotal moment here. Wannabe Beyond's going to try and get up. Oh, I don't know what he actually saw. So he sees the building, but there's no way he had enough time to click on it. Not a chance. Oh, it was enough though. He drops a Raven. Oh, that's so crazy. It has to be a guess. I mean, I don't see a scenario where this is anything other than I see the Twilight Council. I see that slender warp in. What could it possibly be? And I mean, it's just totally safe anyways. I mean, let's say he makes the Raven and it's not DTs. I mean, you can easily use the Disruption Matrix to shut down a Warp Prism. You can use it to shut down a Disruptor. I mean, it has a lot of functionality. But in this case, he makes the right call, and he is going to give himself what he needs. Now, Magnath is going to go all the way in on this DT nonsense. But it's gonna come at a cost, unfortunately. And these DCs are gonna cost him so much and give him so little. All right, well, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 4. Even 4. That's way more than I would have expected. Now behind this, he's gonna double down. He's dropping down 5 more gateways immediately scouted. Wannabe Beyond is so on top of his scouting information in this game. I'm amazingly impressed. Now, I did kind of surprised. I kind of expected Magnath to go, you know, I don't see myself getting very far with these DTs moving forward. So maybe I'll stop researching that DT blink and move into something else, but continuing to commit at this point. Huh. I mean, that's a lot of DTs. I mean, that's enough DTs where you can just blink in and just bop something. But at this point, so much of the Sim City of Wannabe Beyond is incredibly gauged around preventing this exact style of play. So DTs are gonna need to blink on in. Oh, but that's not the way to do it, I'm afraid. Yeah, and this is just going to be a push across the map. I don't think there's a single thing that Magnath can do at this point. There is so much army here of Wannabe Beyond. 42 to 12. 42 to 12. as long as he... Oh! Well. Unfortunate ending there. So, on a BBN. Gonna clutch it out here with game number 3. So, well played. And looks like we are going to be moving on to our winners match to see who's going to be moving out in first place in this Group A of the Junior Championships. So we are going to go ahead and take a short break. When we return, we will be in the winners match here. It is going to be between A-Rog Fire and Wannabe Beyond. So another PVT coming your way. My name is Rushy. You guys are watching Group A of the Alpha X Junior Championships. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this. All right, welcome back, folks, to Season 8, Group A of the Alpha X Junior Championships right here at twitch.tv/Rushy at, excuse me, twitch.tv/Alpha X SC2. Sometimes things just are in your head and they just zip right out before you even think about it. I will have an opportunity to pitch my own Twitch stream, but unfortunately it is not right now. Fortunately, this is going to be the winner's match here in Group A. It is going to be another TVP. We're going to jump right on in. Our players are already set and ready to go. So let's go introduce our players. Spawning in the top right of Eternal Empire, our blue Protoss player playing for Alpha X. Give it up for Ro8. And spawning in the bottom left, our red Terran player. This is Wannabe Beyond. Folks, I'm going to continue to say thank you so much for all your patience in regards to our current video situation. Again, cannot seem to get to the internet to level out here. And I mean, it's been an hour and a half, and my upstream has just been, again, red, yellow, green, red, green, yellow, green. Again, world's worst game assignment says I think I've ever played. But fortunately, things continue to keep cruising onwards, and we shall forge forward. But thank you so much for all your patience. We appreciate that, and hopefully things will continue to be okay. We are going to find ourselves with a standard opening here, so I will take the opportunity to pimp out our Matcherino, !Matcherino in the chat. You can use the code AXJC8 to contribute your own 50 cents to the prize pool. We really need your help to get that done, so please do consider checking that out. Again, it's as simple as typing !Matcherino in the chat, and you too can contribute. Of course, you can also check out our Liquipedia bracket and our Patreon links as well. And we encourage you to check it all out. We've got so many cool offerings here at Alpha X where we would love to share all of them with you. So do feel free. Check that out. Peep our amazing sponsors. And thank you for supporting Alpha X products and productions, such as the Alpha X Junior Championships. All right, very quick blink here out of Ro8 for our map number 1. It's going to be the source of our initial aggression here from our blue Protoss player. And that's not very surprising, especially on a map like Eternal Empire. I mean, you have this gigantic wall along the third base where, with the help of an observer or warp prism, you can easily just blink on up into the main base of the Terran player and get a lot of aggressive damage done in the blink of an eye. Now we are going to see a little bit of aggression here. The Reaper actually going to be very cute and zone out the Stalker from being able to block the wall, and that is going to cost a couple of probes. Not anything devastating, but still cute, still something that Ro8 has to invest mental energy into. But I don't think he gets a chance. He got a chance to get over to the Twilight Council on the far right-hand side. Now, on top of this quick tech here, Ro8 are going to drop down a 4-minute 30-second third base as well. So he's not going to commit all the way in here. He is going to secure himself a little bit of economy. and make sure that this is not an all-in. So Blink's going to finish up. And now we're able to start moving forward here. I think it's going to be with this observer coming out that we will see our initial aggression begin. Double Forge going to be coming down. We're going to be grabbing those upgrades. And we have Charge on the way. Also. And that's pretty smart at this point, into an opponent who's invested largely into Biotank. It's also the Raven here, and I think the Raven is unfortunately just a byproduct of the previous series. I don't think Wannabe Beyond really has any indication that there might be DTs on the field, and in fact, it's quite the opposite at this point. But once again, that Raven is not a bad investment without DTs. Can do so much to shut stuff down. But there is no stim quite yet, so it's going to require the tank to help push these stalkers all the way back. Narog Fire just going to keep his observer up on the top side here. Really worried about those flybys and those secondary drops. Tank and siege mode, that is not going to be anything that these stalkers are going to want to fight, so those are going to back off for right now. Now, it is a large amount of gateway here at this point. I believe that is an 8 gate, so we're going to see a large amount of warp-ins of more than likely zealots. Yeah, 1-1 zealots going to be on the way. They are going to have charge. This will be a very, very strong army for Wannabe Beyond to deal with, and I mean, we can see that disparity here, 102 to 85. Both players getting that third base saturation up and running. Wannabe Beyond, as long as he can keep even with the worker count, will find himself in a good position to stay toe-to-toe with Arog Fire, and in fact, he is going to be able to try and pull that economy down his direction. And we can start seeing the effects of that here at this point. But it's that army count that's he's gonna need to be able to deal with. Now, 2 tanks in a wall, that's gonna help out a lot here. That armory is going to be exposed though. Okay, nice wall here. And it's actually even a concave wall. So that is gonna be difficult to deal with. We're gonna try and watch both here. Oh my gosh, the full wall off is real. These tanks are gonna have so much room to work. Yeah, and I mean, Arog Fire can't get in on top of this right now. The Warp Prism's gonna do its best to try and lift into the back of the base, but there are gonna be missile turrets at some point, so he's gonna be able to get 1 drop in undetected. The other drops in the future are going to be more difficult. So let's see what damage he can get done here right now. It is just gonna be 3 workers for the cost of 1 zealot. Really, at this point, I mean, Arog Fire doesn't show it, but he hasn't gotten a whole lot of damage done. Fortunately, though, he is getting his economy under wraps. He's got a 4th base up. He is working on a really, really strong army composition. I mean, Zealots, not bad against Bio. Really, really not bad at all. He's going to grab his Psy Storm as well. But on the backside of this, there is a Ghost Academy, advanced EMPs on the wave, or EMP Shockwave. I'm gonna have to look at that and see if I can embed that upgrade name deep into my brain. 2-2 on the way as well. Does get a scan on his opponent and sees that giant zealot count. So more than likely, we're just gonna see more tanks coming in to play as well. How many tanks does he have at the current moment? He's only got 3. He could probably stand to have a couple of more, but instead he's going to choose to go into Widow Mines. He's already got a reactor on that factory, so not a bad call in any stretch. But this is still not a really great place to try and engage into. I mean, he's got the full wall off. He's got plenty of bio to keep those units off of these siege tanks. And as long as those siege tanks are allowed to get work done, they will be able to hold down that area for quite some time. But it seems like Arog Fire doesn't want to wait. He just wants to get on top of everything and Just dive in to the madness. Now, I think he's expecting a fourth base to be here, and this is actually, oh, this is going to be a great moment here. He's going to catch this in transfer. Should be able to pick off a good chunk of these workers. I'd say at least 4 or 5 should go down, but the Bioforce comes forward fast enough. Only 3 workers get killed off. So that's a pretty good save here for Wannabe Beyond, not sacrificing a whole lot of that army. And suddenly we see a position where Wannabe Beyond is going to be able to make the most of that. All right, but A-Rock Fire's ready to go. He's ready to dance. He knows the tanks aren't in the mix just yet. Those tanks just now starting to get into position. So those Zealots have an opportunity to get some work done, but he's trying to get around all of his force fields and all of these different units here. Gets on top of the tanks. One tank does go down. The second tank's going to fall as well, and these Zealots are able to just chew through so much of this bio, but there isn't quite enough. He is going to sacrifice the base for all of it, though. A good recall is going to get done on all of A-Rock Fire's units. He did have to pay 1 Immortal on the back side of that, but I think A-Rock Fire is going to benefit from that economic damage, but this is what he cannot deal with right now. He doesn't have any splash damage. I guess does he have enough for Psystorm? Not quite. He's going to have to hold this off for just a little bit of time. Hopefully he can show his hand and say, hey, dude. Oh, no. Those ghosts are trying to look for those EMPs to get rid of all of the energy. And he barely has any to begin with as it sits. Those ghosts do wiggle forward. They do not get the damage done that they need to. So now all of the bio is trapped. Does he have it? No, he's gonna be patient. Very, very good patience here by A-Rock Fire. I don't think Wannabe Beyond got the damage done that he was looking for at that point. And now we start to see more and more of that AoE and splash damage coming out here for A-Rock Fire. Continuing to get more of those High Templar, and the High Templar will continue to work. But we do have a Colossus on the way. There's still mines here. Is he aware of that? I mean, he's got to be aware of it, right? Just sitting outside of range. Okay, he can see it now. Okay, so those mines will get cleaned up. I was just like, I didn't want to move away from that because those mines could easily just connect with 3 or 4 High Templar, and oops, A-Rock's Fire just loses the game. Fortunately, Wannabe Beyond was able to at least secure his 4th and 5th base being built off of the back of that push, but I'm worried that that was too much damage for him to try and recover. Now I think A-Rock Fire's in a good position here. He's got the upgrade advantage. He's got 3-3. He's got plenty of units that have splash and AoE. And against still a largely bio army, this will be very good for him. But the Zealots are currently out of position. Those Stalkers are going to be in the way. This is going to force another liftoff and probably a kill on this 4th base once again. But he does have a 4th base down on the low ground. So this isn't completely devastating. Big charge forward, doesn't want to overcommit here. He knows that he needs to keep these units alive. Grabs that sensor tower, and now this is going to be the engagement here. Big forward is going to get on top of some of those bigger, bulkier units. There's not quite enough Vikings here yet to pick off of these Colossi, and the Colossi are what are making this so difficult. Some good storms paint that bio. And suddenly, Wannabe Beyond does not quite have what he needs. These ghosts are going to continue to fall in numbers. And this is getting shoved back a lot further than Wannabe Beyond can afford here. GG is called. A-Rock Fire taking game number 1 in this winner's match. Well played. Just very, very patient play out of our Protoss player at this point. So, very, very good set of information that he was working with, some good scouting, and he's going to continue to make that work. So we're going to jump into map number 2 here. It's going to be on, I don't even remember. I clicked the lobby and I didn't even look. Death Aura. It's going to be on Death Aura here. A-Rog Fire 1 win away from moving on to our playoffs next Sunday. So, of course, he is going to be heavily invested in securing that down. Alrighty. Cool. Wannabe Beyond is going to be fighting for the opportunity to continue playing and hopefully take this to a game number 3. It looks like DreamHack just wrapped up for the day. So if you are joining us from DreamHack, welcome. You guys are watching Group A of Season 8 of the AlphaX Junior Championships. My name is Rushy. We are experiencing some unfortunate internet issues. A lot of video stutter. I can't seem to fix it without stopping the stream. So fortunately, the audio still seems to be in good position, but I don't know how to help any further. So I'm gonna try and do my best to keep the audio as engaging as I can, and the games will take care of themselves. So thank you so much for all of your patience. Really do appreciate it here as we jump in to map number 2 on Death Aura, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. It's our blue Protoss player playing for Alpha X, 1 win away from moving on to the playoffs of Season 8. Give it up for A-Rog Fire. And spawning in the top left, our red Terran player needs 2 wins in a row if he wants to move on. This is Wannabe Beyond. Now, I was wondering if Wannabe Beyond would be a little cheeky on this game, especially since Death Aura kind of has these giant pockets of space over on the left and right hand side that are really out of the way for scouting. But it appears that he wants to just play a normal game. He knows A-Rog Fire is aggressive. Is he just gonna lose that probe? What? Excuse me. Okay. That probe was gonna be very, very upset had that probe kicked the can. But he knows A-Rog Fire is rather aggressive in his own right, so I think he does want to try and be careful, especially since it is entirely possible that these two will be playing each other at another point in the season, more than likely. So he doesn't want to show off too much, especially if he's been coming up with new builds. Oh, a good timing on the Twilight Council there, but not quite what he needs. So there is already a shield battery in the mineral line that will help anchor all of that down. And this Reaper is going to get out. This Reaper is not going to get out. This Reaper is going to just have so many problems. He's gonna have to think. He's gonna have the whole afterlife to think about it. Audio doesn't have issues. It's just the image that freezes from time to time. Yeah, I'm super frustrated with that. Unfortunately, don't have any control. Yo, Captain Canuck, thank you so much for subscribing with your Twitch Prime. He says, yeehaw. Thank you so much. Great way to support Alpha X and everything that's happening here in our organization. If you do want to consider subscribing alongside Captain Canuck, feel free to check that Twitch Prime if it's just sitting there ready to be used. It's a great way to help support Alpha X and your favorite esports players and teams. So give it some thought. But thank you so much, Captain Canuck. Appreciate that sub hype. All right. A-Rog Fire going for the if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality. Going into that blink stalker once again. Now, Airlock Fire does let that scout get all the way in. So the element of mystery is probably out of the picture for this particular game. As he did see the Twilight Council researching, it's not common to fake that. Like definitely in TVZ, it's really common to fake, like for example, the Banshee cloak. Because you can easily just turn it off and your actual tech is going elsewhere. But being as the cost is so expensive to not only get a Dark Shrine, but also to grab that Blink upgrade, it's not a realistic chance that he was faking the upgrade. I think I would say that I've seen that far less than anyone might be willing to. But this is going to be a big blink attack here. One more warp in should be able to add to this number. I expect to see 3 or 4 more. Oh, they actually got warped in back at home, I think. Yeah, to deal with the Banshee. So that gets zoned out, but unfortunately that Nexus is going to be under attack here. Oh, it was a good scan on that observer. There's going to be a big blink forward here. There's not that much. And the tank's all the way on the low ground as well. So Stalkers should be able to zone this out relatively effectively. I think he did end up losing the observer here, but that's a big blink forward. Going to try and get on top of that tank. See what damage he can get done. He does get that picked up. And these are going to continue blinking around here. He takes the long way. Airlock Fire, I don't think got the value he was looking for. But he's not quite done. I guess Terran player is still on the losing end of that trade. But I don't think he got everything he was hoping for. So he is sticking around, seeing if maybe he can leap in a second time. But there's a second tank here. Still a handful of Marines. It looks like there's at least 12. The 2 Banshees all the way back at home. If anything, pinning the Banshees back at home makes this a worthwhile investment. Okay, so he does get a scout on the tank. The Banshees all have enough energy for Cloak right now, and this is effectively kind of shut for right now. More than anything, he's just going to continue to zone this army out. Now, the 3rd base is already done for Wannabe Beyond, so he can continue to crank out that worker production, and it does look like that's the case right now. Oh, I think the workers got picked off. Ooh, Banshees are going to get all cleaned up as well, and that will actually, that alone, oh, and Warp Prism just went back home. I think that alone will prevent the push out. At least for right now. Oh, I was going to say, you've got a moment. Oh, you can't quite get those to all connect. You need 4 Stalkers to one-shot a SCV. Oh my gosh, look at all this. Airlock Fire just going to wind up. He's just going to hit him. He wants to clear this out. He wants to be done. And this is actually a really nice surround here. The charge just completes. This is going to get all the way in. It's a nice surround on the bio, but the tank is still able to get a lot of work done. That tank does finally get taken care of, and all of these units are going to get cleaned up. GG is called, an Airlock Fire with a clean victory, making this look easy. Takes the win. Well played by our French Protoss player. There's a reason he's the back-to-back champion, and hopefully we will get a chance to interview him very, very soon. Talk to him a little bit about his group and everything here, and we will be adding Miguel into the call. I'm super excited. So we're gonna take a 1-minute break. We're gonna let I don't think we're even going to take a 1-minute break at all. We are going to jump right in to this interview. So we are here with Miguel and Arogfire. Arogfire, GG, well played, sir.
Thanks.
Your play is looking just as good as ever, and you are showing everyone at home why you are the 2-time reigning champion here for the Alpha X Junior Championships. How did you feel in your matchups today?
Nice, I think. Sorry, can you repeat the question? Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got out of that group like pretty cleanly, 4-0. I mean, you did it on the back,
yeah.
You did it on the back of some very varied play. Of course, you had Ghosty, who played very aggressively in his games against you, and Wannabe Beyond kind of played a little bit more standard for you. Do you feel like you have a play style that you play better against? Do you play better against cheesy play, or do you play better against macro play?
I think I play better against macro style, I think, yeah.
Okay.
But against the cheesy style, if I know that my opponent is going to do a cheesy play, I'm pretty good, I think.
So you were probably very excited to see Wannabe Beyond play more macro-oriented play, because he's very well known for proxying out on the map.
Yep, exactly.
Wonderful. Miguel, do you have any questions for our French Protoss?
Yeah, of course. Well, first of all, congrats. It was an impressive 4-0 again. You won 2 seasons in a row. How do you feel for this season? Do you have time to practice because it's July, so maybe it's harder because of vacations?
No, I have still a times to practice, to be honest. Even if I'm in vacation, it's okay. I can play a lot still.
How many do you play a week during the vacations?
A week or a day?
Well, both. I don't know.
Okay, I think I play, I will say 4-5 hours per day, yeah.
Okay, that's impressive.
Yeah, wow.
For sure. Yeah, so you had a really hard group, to be honest. When I made the group, I was like, oh my god, group A looks really scary. You had Wannabe Beyond, which is always a bit tricky to beat, right? And Ghosting is, who were your nemesis? I'm not sure if it's...
Yeah.
Who do you think is your scariest opponent for the playoffs?
He's a striker, definitely. I think. Yeah.
Again, it's a striker. Everyone says Eggbrok's the striker.
Because
yeah, sorry, what did you say?
But I lost him sometimes, yeah, in Apprentice, for example. So yeah, I think it's going to be hard against him.
Okay. I have a question about your playstyle in your PvZ. I was wondering because at some point in game 2 against Ghosty made a lot of lurkers, you know, like well, nothing but lurkers. How do you, well, you defended it really well, but how do you use to defend this kind of switch to full lurkers?
I will say you have to do 2 robotic facilities, and you have to move in the map. So the Zeg, as he has an army that unsiege and siege, so it's hard for him to have a good position, etc. So I need to move between bases and try to take a good fight. But yeah, I couldn't do that really this time because he just jumped on me. So yeah.
Okay. So I have a last question for you. You used to be really bad against Zerb, right? And right now it looks really good. I mean, you beat Yunyakov the last season he played like 3 seasons ago. Now you're beating Ghosty almost every time. What did you do in order to improve this specific matchup?
I don't think it is still. I think it's still my worst matchup for the moment. But yeah, I think I have improved a bit in this matchup. I think you need to practice in macro and see what pros do, etc. But yeah.
Okay.
Outstanding.
That's all for me.
I have one last question for you, Arog Fire. You're going to be moving on to the playoffs. Congratulations in first place.
Thanks.
What would it mean to you to be the first player in the Alpha X Junior Championships to potentially win 3 seasons in a row?
Thanks.
What would that mean to you?
It will be really nice, I think. Yeah.
Well, it certainly goes to show that your practice is certainly paying off, Arog Fire. So once again, congratulations for making it out of Group A. We will look forward to seeing you play more next Sunday.
Thanks.
I actually have the last question. Who would you like to confront? Well, obviously not Exo Striker, but who do you think will be the second one who is most likely to qualify on Group B?
Okay. I
Baby
think,
Marine, Endless TV, or Sly Crab?
I think Sly Crab.
Okay.
But yeah. Hey. And after Baby Marine, yeah, I think.
Okay. See you next Sunday then.
Thanks. You
All
too.
right, GG.
Right.
Cool. GG. Thanks.
Alrighty. And that was our French Protoss, Arog Fire, advancing on to next week's event, making it to the playoffs for the 3rd time in a row. Actually, probably more times than that in a row. 4th time, 5th time, 5th time in a row. Yeah, showing some dominance from our young Protoss player. And that's what we love about the Alpha X Junior Championships, is getting a chance to meet some of these players and see how their passion flows freely from them. And we are so grateful that they are able to be a part of our event and so willing to do interviews for all of us. So we're going to take a short break here. We're going to be moving on to our next matchup. It is going to be our elimination match. One of our players will be sent packing. The other winner will be moving on to face Wannabe Beyond in the decider match. So we've got more games to play. For those of you coming to us from ESL, thank you so much for joining us. You guys are watching Group A of the Season 8 of the Alpha X Junior Championships. My name is Rushy. We are experiencing some internet upload issues, so hopefully the audio is just fine. The video is going to be a little stuttery. I apologize in advance. Thank you so much for all of your patience, but we will be right back with our elimination match right after this. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty, welcome back everybody to our elimination match here in Group A of the Alpha X Junior Championships. We are excited to see who is going to be potentially moving on second in this group to join AROG Fire in next week's event. So we will need to figure out who's going to be going home first, unfortunately. And we are going to be jumping in here. So it is going to be a PVZ. Should be a good matchup here between our two players. And we're going to jump right on in. Thank you so much for hanging out. Hopefully we will have some good games here. But once again, if you're joining us from DreamHack, welcome. You guys are watching the Junior Championships right here on twitch.tv/AlphaXXC2. Spawning. Nope. Nobody's spawning. Nobody's going to be spawning at all. We're going to be getting out of this. More than likely. Leaving game? I'm confused. I'm confused. Oh. Okay. We're not leaving the game. So, this is getting weird. Spawning in the bottom left. Spawning in the bottom left. Doing a cannon rush. I need to get into this. This is Magnath. And spawning in the top right, who should be reacting right about now, is Ghosty. Oh my gosh, that got weird. I'm so sorry. But we have a cannon rush going down right now. And it's kind of a full commit. I think, was it Magnath? Oh no, it's Mini Ghosty who is running with the possible weird bug. Ooh, actually canceling one of the cannons in the very, very back there. Okay, so we do have a gateway coming out here, and Ghosty is going to commit all the way into this, which I actually don't hate that as an option. This particular map is very difficult for coverage here. I'm finding it difficult to talk about specific things here as I'm trying to determine if Magnath's actually going to be able to anchor this down here. He does have a Zealot out finally. That's going to deal a lot of damage against these drones. If anything, it is going to buy just enough time for that photon cannon to get down. But this is exactly what I was going to try and get into with this particular natural here on Pillars of Gold. Is that the creep is going to completely cover all of this area. And the lings are already out. Everything is taken care of. I think, I mean, this is basically done. I mean, there are tons of lings out onto the map. There's no way for Ghosty to get pinned in any further. That pylon's going to go down. I mean, Magnath is committing into this. He's doing his due diligence of making sure that his proxy can continue to happen here. But no power on the gateway limits that unit production. I mean, there isn't even a building here on this side that can produce any units as well. A double robotics facility and a cannon. No Pointer asking, what is Junior? All of these players are 15 years or younger. So these are players that are not yet eligible for ESL due to age regulation. Okay. Now, is that close enough to be activated for battery overcharge? Because with battery overcharge, that should be able to be covered. But it doesn't look like the Zerglings are going to commit in anyways. So this is an interesting scenario here. I'm I'm actually a little surprised that Magnath has committed into this. I mean, this is a bit of a last-ditch effort. This is going to be a Warp Prism. There is going to be a probably a second Immortal. He's got the gas. He doesn't quite have the minerals, I don't think. I think now he does. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, 275, I think, is the mineral count for that. Feel free to let me know in the chat. I actually don't quite know. There's going to be 3 Immortals? Oh, nice little dropper lord here is going to get those lings into the main base, and actually that should be it. I mean, this is his only economy at this point. I know he's going to focus in on this micro, but he's actually going to lose all of it. GG is called. Ghosty. Closing it down. Closing it down. Very, very quick. GG. All right. Yes, I'm terribly sorry, folks. I know that the stuttering makes it very, very difficult to watch. I do apologize. I wish I knew what I could do to stop this. I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, because like Steam's not even open, so that's not working in the background against me. That's not doing anything of value. I'm just gonna have to, unfortunately, just keep an eye on it. We'll see. I closed a couple of things. Hopefully we'll see maybe a change. Maybe. I'm not holding my breath. Yeah, we're still fluctuating back and forth. So, I can assure you, Null Pointer, that there are no nefarious downloads happening right now. If anything, the download's not the issue; it's the upload, right? So it would be me releasing new videos to the world, and I can assure you that that's not happening here. As I'm releasing this to the world here as we go into game number 2. Spawning in the top right-hand corner. Needs to win 2 wins. Needs to win 2 wins. Yes, Rushy. Words. Needs to win 2 games if he would like to stay in this Group A and move on to the decider match. Playing for Platinum Heroes. Give it up for Magnath. And spawning in the bottom left, our yellow Zerg player. 1 win away from moving on to the decider match against Wannabe Beyond. Playing for Magdeburg Esports. Give it up for Ghosty. So, had a lot more time this game to be able to get that all set and done. So, it is still going to be a forge back behind this, though. So, is he really going to commit into this? I think he is. Yeah, he's going to drop at least 1 cannon. Now, does he have vision of that? He does. He's got full vision of it. So, okay. I actually don't hate this. So that cannon is going to spot for the buildings on the high ground here. Yeah, this is the right call by Ghosty. Ghosty going to try and drop down some spine crawlers. I don't know if 3 is specifically necessary, but very, very, very safe, if you will. So, I mean, this is kind of all in position at this point. That cannon is going to be able to go down, and it is going to be 3. Oh, I love the probe here, making it impossible for that spine crawler to go down right away at the beginning. Now, cannons are going to be able to whittle this away, and this is now a difficult situation here for Ghosty to try and play from. The zoning is complete. Is that actually enough space to get an immortal out? No way. Oh, I mean, that's insane if that's the case. I'm actually a little surprised if that actually ends up being the case. So Magnath getting this off a little bit stronger this time, going into the technology first, instead of just going straight into a forge production. Okay. Yep, good micro back and forth. We're going to see this. Oh, it gets very, very close here. Trying to pick off the queen that's got enough energy here before it's used on the spine, and it decides, no, I'm not going to do that at this point. So we are going to see this, the second. It's going to be a third coming out as well. I just think that's insane. That is like, that is a perfect gap. That is something that that Magnath has sat in a custom game practicing that specific build here on this map. So very, very exciting to see. These immortals are getting so much work done. The shield batteries are providing so much extra shield on top of everything. We are going to see the barrier come back online here in just a little bit for both of these immortals. But that third immortal coming out as well. A fourth coming in as well. I suppose he doesn't need the... I suppose he doesn't need it. Oh, this is going to be an all-in here. We are going to have to back all the way up here. These drones get pulled into the fun. All of the spine crawlers get pulled forward, as well as the queens. And the shield batteries just can't keep up. Shield batteries on the high ground are all but exposed. The ones on the low ground have been finished as well. So many workers getting picked off here. Cannons are all cleaned up. Everything's all cleaned up. I think Ghosty has done it. I think he has pushed this all the way in, and it comes at the cost of all of his workers, but I don't know that there is anything left to zone this out. The Robo facility has been killed off. One cannon on the low ground is not going to be enough, and GG. Ghosty with the all-in defense to save himself in this series, and he will be moving on in quick fashion, might I add, to meet Wannabe Beyond in the decider match. So very, very well played by all of our opponents. Alrighty. Well, folks, we have an opportunity here to jump into a quick advertisement. Now, this is kind of cool. We've been pimping out some of our amazing sponsors, some of which that you see right below me in the sponsor bar. But we also have some great sponsors that are supporting Alpha X in general here in our organization. One of those is Matcherino. And on top of being able to use the coupon codes to help pay for our prize pool and contribute your 50 cents into the prize pool, we do also have great opportunities to show you how you can use Matcherino to add more funds to your own prize pools for your own events. So the community is so important in helping make everything work wonderfully in the StarCraft 2 world. And I want to take an opportunity to show you how you can enhance your own events for your set. So we're going to take a short break. We're going to go to a quick ad, and then we will be back with our final decider match here at Group A to see who's going to join A-Rog Fire in the playoffs. My name is Rushy. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this. My name is Rushy, and this is a 1-minute tutorial on how to create your own Matcherino quests for your online events. Let's get started. Go to Matcherino.com and click the sign-in button in the top right. You'll need to link an account to begin. I use my Twitch account because it's the most convenient for me, but you can choose which one works best for you. Once you log in, click your username in the top right and select Profile. Along the left side will be a place to select Sponsor Quests, and you've arrived. Click the Add button and give this quest a clear title and a sleek image. Your quest can be attached to all games, but one option to better reach your audience is to limit your quest to games that fit your specific community. You can also target specific audiences by whitelisting specific countries, or by blacklisting specific countries so they can't see your quests. You can also set specific actions that your quests require, such as website clicks or Twitter follow. Doing all of this will get you great looking buttons that your fans can interact with on your Matcherino pages. Use the Analytics tab to see how your quests are doing and what works best for your community. Every click counts. I hope this video helped you start your Matcherino quest. Thanks for supporting Matcherino. Now, let's get back to the action. Alrighty, welcome back, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed that Matcherino advertisement that I went through and made. I'm actually really excited. Went through and made a whole bunch of ads for Alpha X. So if you're catching Alpha X content here in the next month or so, you might be seeing a little bit more of my face, which I'm pretty proud of. So hopefully you enjoy that, but definitely consider checking out all of our sponsors. Again, Alpha X is an amazing organization because of the partnerships and networks that we have with these amazing organizations to help us make StarCraft 2 happen. So please do check them out at bare minimum. Find them on social media. Tell them thank you for supporting Alpha X and StarCraft 2 here in 2020. We're going to jump into the decider match to see who's going to join AROG Fire in the playoffs next Sunday. Will it be our Terran player, Wannabe Beyond, or will it be our German Zerg, Ghosty? Ghosty made quick work. I'm telling you, quick work of the elimination match. Let's see if Ghosty moves with the same kind of speed here in the decider match. And I feel compelled. Normally I like to linger, because like the first few seconds, not anything that's super, super crazy. But I think I can linger here. Let's see. Do I see any people in the chat that need specific love? I mean, Sun Lily is awesome. I can also see Rua. Awesome people. And I also see 204 people watching a stuttery stream of some of the best young StarCraft 2 competitors. I appreciate that. Thank you. Please, when you get a survey about Alpha X and all of the different casters, make sure that you say that Rushy was your favorite. Even though this frame rate is just absolutely abysmal. spawning in the top left-hand corner of Submarine, our yellow Zerg player. Give it up for Ghosty. And spawning in the bottom right, our purple Terran player. This is Wannabe Beyond. Okay, so Ghosty not wanting to make it super fast, at least here in game number 1. With this being a decider match that has opponents that have not yet played, we don't have to worry about any of this, but just so everybody knows, we do have a rule with our decider matches. If, for some reason, the decider match is a rematch between 2 players in a group, the winner of the previous match starts up 1-0. But since that's not the case here, Ghosty and Wannabe Beyond facing each other for the first time in this series, we don't have to worry about that. But it is a TVZ, so of course I'm at home. I'm at home in my element. As we watch Ghosty start warming up here. It looks like he's going to take that third base. He's going to run that third base out rather quick. But he does have the Zerglings in position. And the Reaper's going to try and get some damage done. Not going to find all sorts of damage. In fact, actually does get picked off here. So Ghosty, with some very, very good damage mitigation here at the beginning of the game, will be able to anchor down a lot of wiggle room. Some excellent stuff here. So it is just going to be a 1-1-1 out of our Terran opponent. We've got Zerglings coming out across the map, though. There's not going to be a whole lot here for these Zerglings to really pick off. There is a mule. Now, that mule will not get its full value, and I suppose, if anything, that's really, really good. But those Lings not going to linger. They know that those Hellions are going to be on the way, and the Hellions are going to be searching high and low. No, the lag is not just you. I'm afraid. I wish I could blame it. I wish I could blame it on other things. But my internet connection just does not want to play nice. And I'm actually really surprised. It's 2.5 hours. Like, it's been steadily the same thing. It's just been this up and down mess for 2.5 hours. I figured it would either get better or worse. And it is just done exactly the same. So, I don't know. More than likely, probably an issue with my provider. It is a Sunday. But, again, I can't stress how appreciative I am of all of you. Because I know it has got to be very difficult to watch a stuttery stream. And 204 of you are being amazing and powering through it. And I really appreciate that. So thank you so much for being a part of this day. I know the Academy kids here absolutely love it. They love having an audience to play for, and they love playing. So we do have a third base coming down here in the wall. Ghosty looking to push his creep spread out even further. Now, Wannabe Beyond is going to get right on top here. I mean, this is a lot more common to see Terran players do. They just drop that Liberator right on top. These Lings trying to work down the rocks are going to get cornered by the Hellions just a little bit. Hellions trying to dive in as far as possible, not going to be able to get any more creep tumors, at least at this point. And it looks like we are just going to see Bio tank coming out of our Terran player. It's going to be a double engineering bay going at the back of the natural. And now we finally see a lair transition. It's going to be a double evolution chamber with a Baneling next. So Ghosty playing very patiently here in game number 1. we've kind of seen both out of him, right? We've seen lots of his aggressive play. We've seen a lot of his straight up macro, and that's very, very good. I mean, obviously, it's a very, very cool thing to see a player that plays so different in every single game. Keeps your opponents on edge, and it just makes you a better player in general. I could learn a lot from these kids. I think we all could. So 1-1 on the way here for Ghosty. That's not lag, that's RAM. No, I can tell you like very clearly. Like I'm looking at my screen and I'm looking at the OBS preview. And like I'm buttery smooth. I can even show you that I'm still running like 50 frames per second if you just check that top corner. It's unfortunately my internet. But anyways. Lingbane here going to try and engage on top of this army. The tanks are in a decent position here, but the queens don't really have a good way to get around, but that is a lot of banelings. Zergling's not doing their job. They were on the back side there, and that was causing a lot of problems, so Ghosty's going to have to try and reload this, but he's losing a lot of his steam here. All of those Zerglings are out of place. That is getting very, very low here. The Zergling's still not getting on top of the tanks. Banelin's going to try and get on top of everything, and that was not what he needed. Ghosty is just going to have to toss this in, but he does pause. Not sure exactly what happened here. Oh, okay. I mean... Ghosty is going to continue to try and flesh this out, but I guess, you know, I guess I need to reevaluate here. I mean, this is a fourth base. This is not his third, so his third base is still over here, well protected. And at the 8-minute mark, losing your fourth base is not. I hate to say devastating, but he is holding it down. All right, all the Hellbat's been cleaned off. There really isn't that much more bio here, and there is nothing streaming across the map. The reinforcements are all pooling back at home, so that is a bit of an issue. Huh. It's very, very interesting. All right, this is a big Ling run by. Gonna get in here. He's gonna pick off 12 or so workers. Grab that 13th on the way out too. Wow, Ghosty, from what I could have told you, was on the edge of tapping out of the game, and he just had to fix his hotkeys. I mean, that makes it very simple here. All right, so behind this, I mean, this is going into Hydra Lingbane. We haven't seen a lot of Hydra Lingbane in this current meta because a lot of it folds over to current Terran playstyle, but he's going to try to make the most of it right now, getting those upgrades, grabbing 2-2, not getting the Hydra upgrades, just getting the Lingbane upgrades at this point. It is going to be Widow Mines on the backside of this, Drilling Claws on the production tab, as well as 2-2 of his own, so he's just going to add in mines to that bio. Little 16 Marine hit squad here, going to try and get on top of these queens, and the queens are not going to fall, not at this point. One medevac does go down, so that becomes a bit of an issue here. This is a big army. The Banelings are not going to be able to get a whole lot of work done, but it was enough. It was enough. Going to get on top of the tank. The reinforcements should be able to clean that up, and this is where our attention needs to continue to stay. The mines are in the mix here. Tank is all the way back. That tank has 22 kills. That tank is looking for more. Tank is hungry. But 8 more workers fall here for Wannabe Beyond, and that is That is a significant number of workers here. I mean, overall, that's 22 total to Ghosty's 1. Again, Ghosty was on the verge, what I thought was the verge of death. And he's only lost 1 worker. Now, if you look at the resources, he's lost quite a few of those. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, the jukes. The jukes by Wannabe Beyond. What a great play. Perch is on the high ground, waits for the Hydras to get out of position, and then he jets on out of there. Very, very cute play, but I think it's going to cost him. This is going to force Ghosty into a big push here back at home, but he doesn't have a lot of banelings. He's got to be very careful. He doesn't want to overcommit here, especially when the other Bioforce is coming back home. And it is going to kind of converge here. A lot of those Hydras are going to get picked off. Ghosty still with a sizable lead here, but it's mostly just in workers. Oh, he doesn't want to overcommit here. He's going to get completely surrounded. Oh, this is actually a difficult scenario to play from here. Ghosty maybe overextends just a little bit. Fortunately, he is able to clean all of this up. And Ghosty's going to continue pushing back across the map. Wannabe Beyond does not have a whole lot here to deal with this this bio push here. Mini Ghosty, is he going to bring back Hydraling Bane? I think he's got a chance. Oh my gosh, look at that conga line. Both of these players showcasing some really, really good. Really, really good micro here. Oh, not quite enough banelings to get on top of that. And he's going to commit so much of his army here. And he does not get that planetary fortress. So he is going to have to back off here. He does pick off 16 workers. And that is not a trade he was hoping for. But look at the supplies here. 161 to 127, 80 to 74. The army counts are still rather close. And this just continues to be kind of an interesting game here. All right, so we do see 3-3 on the way. Adrenal. Actually, it's just +3 Carapace. He is going to get into that +1 ranged attack. So these Hydras are going to have a little more fight to him. More Ling, more Bane. The mines and the bio continuing to come over here. And Ghosty does need to sack this 5th base. He needs to protect this if he possibly can. And I don't think Beyond has just enough to be able to deal with this, but he is going to stem forward here. The Baneling's caught in the back side here. God, that is such a overstemmed army. I mean, Ghosty has got to be, he's just got to be licking his lips trying to get on top of this. This is a precarious situation here to play from. And the Queens on the backside here are trying to eliminate this, but he's just going to lose all of them. Ghosty's just going to toss all of those away. Ghosty. I think it was because he was out of Banelings. Yeah, this is just super unfortunate here. Those Banelings not able to quite connect, and Beyond is just living on a razor's edge, but Ghosty protects the base. He never stops mining. He does a great job of mitigating the economic damage and is able to rotate up and out. So this just becomes it just becomes a game of attrition at this point. So, if you're Beyond, what do you do at this point? I mean, he is going to transition into Liberators, but there isn't really a big push for Mega Ground. There is a Lurker deck, so there will be a transition here. Are there any Lurkers currently on the field? There are 5, so that's going to help. But I think that Ghosty kind of has this locked into place. Wannabe Beyond has been down workers for so long, and he's not been able to get any economic damage done to his opponent, that he's just starting to bleed out. I mean, just look even at the bank count. Mini Ghosty still has plenty of minerals. Both players have a gas bank, But at this point, if there are no minerals for Wannabe Beyond, he just has no way to spend the gas. All right, so now the Liberators are getting mixed in. I don't imagine that the Lurkers are going to be too aggressive, although I say that, and I see Adaptive Talons on the menu. Oh, those Banelings need to get on top. Yes, those Banelings are finally going to connect with that army. For so long, he's waited. More Banelings going to try and connect here. Oh, I think he had it. And he pulls it back last second, but here's where he's focused. He's getting so much damage done at the third base here, and I don't think that Wannabe Beyond can withstand that kind of economic damage here. He's going to lose this pushing army. He's going to lose the third base. These are just going to push forward, and Ghosty making it look good. GG is called. All right. Now, chat, we're going to have a little talk. We're going to have a little chit-chat here. So, here's what I know about the issues as we get into Pillars of Gold for game number 2. Potentially our last match of the day. I have been watching in OBS my upload just struggle. So, I stream on this pretty regularly. All these settings, all of my upload speed and everything are all Gucci. For whatever reason, my internet is just struggling today. So I usually don't have this problem. The upload, I can lower it to a certain point, but then you're just not going to watch anyways. So I also don't want to potentially ruin the stream as it is right now. So it's just a little bit easier to let it roll for right now. So I am aware. I'm sorry that it is there. I wish I could do something. I wish I could call my internet company and say, look, I got 235 people that want to watch StarCraft. Get it together. I wish I could. But unfortunately, I cannot. Are these NAGMs? No. These are actually all EU players. But these are all I think between 5 and 6K players. They're all 15 years and younger. Of course, if you want to check out more about our tournament here, I encourage you to check out the Liquipedia link that I posted 2 minutes ago in the chat. Feel free to check it out. It's such a cool event. We really do enjoy providing this kind of opportunity for all of these kids. Also, thank you so much for all the follows. We do appreciate that. I am very, very grateful that all of you are sticking through this. You are the real OGs. I know you would have every reason to go check out something else that's hopefully not as stuttery as this, but I'm super appreciative that you are sticking around. So thank you so much. Really do appreciate it here. This is potentially our last game of the event. So, or at least for today. So please do check out that Matcherino, !Matcherino in the chat. Allows you to contribute 50 cents to the prize pool. Absolutely free. If you want to contribute more than that, of course, we would love that. All that money goes to the players and allows us to put on more high-quality events right here at twitch.tv/alphaxsc2. And we're going to jump on in. Oh, that code, by the way. AXJC8. Adds 50 cents to the prize pool. Spawning in the top right-hand corner. 1 win away from advancing from Group A to our playoffs next Sunday. This is our Yellow Zerg playing for Magdeburg Esports. Give it up for Ghosty. And spawning in the bottom right, our Red Terran needs 2 wins in a row if he wants to advance and get out of this decider match. Give it up for Wannabe Beyond. Yes, the lag is 100% my fault. The stutter is 100% my fault. I own it, chat. I'm responsible. Tonight when I go to lay my head down on my bed, I'll make sure to pause for like a split second before my head hits the pillow to simulate all of the lag that you've just experienced for the last 2 hours and 52 minutes. I'll do it for you. I'll do it because I know that's what you would want. And then I will call my ISP in the morning, give them a stern talking to. And then I'm going to contact Miguel. And I'm going to tell him, Miguel, je voudrais un café, s'il vous plaît. And then he'll just laugh at me. Because it'll be like silly Rushy. And then it'll all be good. It'll all be Gucci. So thanks so much. Do appreciate that a lot. You guys are awesome. Okay. So we got an early Roach War in here out of Ghosty. Not gonna see him get into that third base just yet. Yeah, he wants to try and block that. Oh, he's gonna get it. Okay, so so this is now kind of an interesting scenario. These roaches are just gonna pop out really, really fast and put a lot of pressure on that natural. So it should be really, really good. Yo, Magnath. So excited to see you in the chat. 265 awesome people here watching Group A. We're very, very excited. These kids absolutely love this opportunity, folks. I mean, please, please keep that in mind. They definitely enjoy playing StarCraft. Of course, all of our professional players love having an audience, but I definitely think it's so important to give these kids a great platform. So thank you again so much. It's why I love casting for this event. As a teacher, it's all I can even like dream of to provide awesome opportunities for these kids. So that being said, we have a bit of a push coming down. Now, Mini Ghosty is going to turn all of these into Ravagers, I think. I think he's just waiting for the last little gas. Okay, nope. He's just going to have one Roach. All right. Where's the Overlord? Overlord is over there. There's already a Cyclone out. Okay, that makes life a little interesting. Because he was not able to get that up and out of the way. That third base is actually already down as well. So this is a very, very quick play. Oh, I thought maybe he would commit, but unfortunately, Ghosty is losing a lot right now. So he's going to drone behind this. He's not going to go all the way in, just trying to delay his opponent's expansion, trying to delay a little bit of his production, force him into more of a what I will call a here and now production. I'm not planning for what's going to happen in the game 5 minutes from now. I'm planning for what's happening right this second. Unfortunately, for Wannabe Beyond, this has been going very, very well. Wannabe Ghosty is going to slip a couple of lings in here, and he is going to get a full scout off on most of what's happening in the base. So he is going to see that third base. He is going to see the transfer of workers. It is just SCVs in the production tab right now, and we're gonna see kind of a normalish game come out of this. Now Ghosty has played from further down and has just wowed the crowd in the past, so we'll have to see what he has in store here, because honestly, I mean, he is still in a pretty decent position. Now he's lost a lot. Make no mistake about that. It is a large investment for what he was able to actually accomplish, but he's delayed his opponent. He's delayed his opponent's economy. He's still rather even on workers. And again, even keep in mind, we're thinking about mules as well. But with the addition of the third base, this now becomes a bit of an interesting scenario. That third base is going to make this very difficult for Mini Ghosty to stay in. But Ghosty's going to have his fourth on site. He is going to have that drone production. He is building lings. So all of this is mostly okay. I think Ghosty is going to level out here. Now we're going to have a Baneling Nest come down. I actually don't even see more... I don't even see any more roaches coming right now. Oh, that takes in a great position. These lings are not going to get the damage done that they need to, I don't think. Oh, they're going to get a lot of damage done, though. You know, that did a lot better than I expected it to. Yeah, and he's going to kill a lot of these workers. All of these mules have been shoved off. They're going to go and get as much damage as they possibly can. But 5 workers on the back side of that. And suddenly, we've pretty much evened that up. I mean, we're talking about 100 mineral difference. It's easy. Mini Ghosty is in a great spot. And this is exactly the kind of play that we expect when we see Ghosty. He's going to go for Hydraling Bane again. Once again, taking the mindset of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're going to see +1 come down. We got Baneling Speed on the way. Pneumatized Carapace as well. And 1-1. Just about to finish up here for our Terran player at the 7-minute and 50-second mark. So where do you go here? We've got an armory on the way. More than likely going to add on to the power of those tanks. But right now, Wannabe Beyond's not in a position where he can really push out with a whole lot. He's only got 11 Marines in those. So he's got more streaming out. He's got that production coming. So eventually it's going to be there. But this really isn't that strong of a push. Already, Lings are going to be able to get on top of this. Banelings show themselves. They don't have to do any work, but that's going to push all of this away. Now, Centrifugal Hooks is already researched, so those Banelings are now fast. Oh, this is, I mean, a great position. A great position for Ghosty to play from. So, 2-2 on the way. We've got Groove Spines being researched, so more of that Hydraling Bane action going to be coming your way from Ghosty. And this is now a bit more of a spooky-ish army. So Ghosty is going to have to back off here. Pillars of Gold does have a lot of good perch positions, but a lot of it bases around these rocks. And the rocks are now gone. So Ghosty opens himself up a little bit of an attack path. These tanks are still going to have a good place to perch. I mean, this is actually not a bad location if they want to perch up there, but this is also pretty good as well. That's going to slowly work away at the creep. Oh, there's going to be a big lane run by. But there's plenty of reinforcements here. I think that gets going. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So on both sides of this, Ghosty is going to be prepared. That's some good target firing on those Banelings. And the creep spread is still far enough forward that Wannabe Beyond not able to really siege onto the hatchery just yet. The Queen's kind of laying in wait here. More and more Banelings do get picked off. The Baneling count quickly dwindling. Now, reinforcements being added into the mix here is going to make this a little bit more scary. Oh my gosh, there's so many Zerglings here. Ghosty sacrificing a lot of his army count to make sure that this army doesn't just pick up and fly into the main, which I think is a real threat here. But now those units have pushed in a little bit too far. But I think he is just trying to bait Ghosty into pushing forward. Where the tanks are lying in wait, there are 4 tanks there. That is a little bit of a large number here. But Link's going to come in on the back side here. They're going to get on top of all of the tanks. All of those tanks are going to fall almost immediately. One does live. But now this is going to be way easier for Ghosty to engage upon. Oh, so many of those Banelings just moments away from shredding Marines. Okay, so now it's Wannabe Beyond's turn to have some good concaves here. Coming in with Marines on both sides here. Great target fire on the Banelings. All of these Banelings just continuing to get picked off. But fortunately, the Hydra count is good enough. He's able to pick all of this off. This tank's going to end with 14 kills, and Ghosty, once again, able to hold down his base, able to protect and keep his economic advantage going. And at that point, if you can hold all of that economic push, it gets to be a bit of a slip slide situation here for the Terran player. All right, so Hive, just about done here. We do have +2/+1 on the way. +2 melee, +1 missile attack. And Ghosty's already out to his 5th base, so he has the production that he needs. He's got the economy behind it. And now we have to look and see what can even continue to be done here for Wannabe Beyond. He's not down and out of this just yet. The army supply is rather close, 72 to 68. And especially when your army supply is mostly Zergling, it's really flimsy. Especially when tanks are involved. Okay, so more of those tanks getting added into the mix. We're up to 5 tanks right now. And that is still a lot of bio, but 14 workers go down. Oh my gosh, did we get a Baneling run by here? We must have. How many workers have gone down? 20 to 2. I mean, this is a telling thing. So there have been moments like we just had where the army count is in favor of Wannabe Beyond, but as long as that income advantage stays in his favor, it's difficult for Wannabe Beyond to try and make that work. Now the tanks do have a good perch here, but 2 of them are not quite sieged up just yet. I think they're going to continue moving forward here. Ghosty trying everything he can to get a good surround, but this is not a great place to try and attack into. Yeah, I think Wannabe Beyond has got a good perch here. Ghosty has got to play more patient. He's just going to lose all of these units to tanks. I mean, I'm looking at the Baneling count here, and the Baneling count is still low, 17. But he thinks he's got the numbers here. He's going to try and weasel on in. He takes out one of the tanks, but it comes at a great cost here. Wannabe Beyond still has so much. And that target fire, again, is so good. I think Ghosty's actually going to lose this base. Yeah, he's going to pull the workers. But it bought enough time for the Ultras. So +3 is now on the way. +3 Carapace. Fortunately, the base back behind is already setting in place. And that one's going to be a lot more difficult for Wannabe Beyond to try and siege into. Well, I mean, okay. Oh, that's not a planetary. So we're gonna have to see if we'll have to see if Ghosty's got enough here. Oh, not enough initially. Both players gonna take a lot of damage here. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a lot of damage from both players here. These Lings have gone unchecked here in the 4th base, but there just is not a lot to deal with this. There is one Ultra, but the Ultra just gets clobbered the moment they look at him. 2 more Ultras on the way. There are plenty of Banelings now, but the tank coverage is so good. 30 drones have gone down. Ghosty somehow still has an economic advantage. Now, this base was allowed to survive. Oh, I think Ghosty has an opportunity here. He's going to try and get around. Those Banelings going to connect with as much as possible. And the Ultras get on top of the tanks, and that is going to force everything back and away. There's 1 tank left. He really needs to try and clean that up, but I don't think he can. And that was enough. Ghosty with a 2-0 victory. Outstanding play he holds in the face of adversity. What a series. Wannabe Beyond fought tooth and nail, but just could not squeeze it out. Wow. All right. Well played by our German Zerg player. We're going to jump into a quick interview here with our 2nd winner advancing into the playoffs. It is going to be Ghosty. And hopefully we will be able to talk with him very soon before my internet decides to do more crazy stuff. So once again, thank you so much, folks. I cannot express my genuine appreciation enough for dealing with all of these internet issues. I'm looking at the dropped frames and 25% of them gone. It's crazy. But let's go ahead and have a little chit chat here with our German Zerg. Ghosty, well played. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, Ghosty, that was a exciting decider match here. I want to talk to you a little bit about that, but first, let's chat about your elimination match. Did you decide you just wanted to speed run the elimination match against your opponent? 'Cause you were really fast on both of those games.
I don't know, like I don't know.
do you like playing the really aggressive style against Protoss?
I don't know. Like I was kinda. Let's say it like that.
Okay. Well, let's talk about your game here against Wannabe Beyond. I feel like both games you had to fight really hard to stay in those games. There were a few moments where it looked like you were about to lose, and then you pushed back really strong. How did you feel in your games against Wannabe Beyond?
I actually felt pretty safe.
Okay.
But like on the first map on Submarine, like my hotkey like didn't work, like the A move. And then my banelings weren't working, that's why I paused. And actually I thought I lost the game there, but
well, that's what I thought.
didn't.
That's what I
Exactly.
thought too. When you paused, I thought for a moment, it's like, oh, he just tapped out. We're gonna go into game number 2, but you were able to recollect that, and in a very tense moment, might I add. So, but you felt really confident in that game.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Let's see. Do you feel really comfortable playing in your ZVT, or let me ask a better question. What do you feel is your best matchup right now?
TVZ. Yeah, TVZ.
TVZ. All right. And I saw you were playing a lot of Hydraling Bane. I know a lot of the Grandmasters trying to avoid that play style right now because Terran has a lot of options against it, but you made it look still very good and very comfortable with that.
So I thought like on the small maps, like Hydras are not bad. Like normally I'm a big Murta player, but like on the small maps, Hydras are way much better because the Terran can push you that easily. Like he can, but like you can do a lot with a counter attack and that stuff because the map is so big. But I felt really safe with the Hydras, and Wannabe Jan is like a really cheesy player sometimes, and some 2-base all-in. So, and actually I played today against a 2-base, and I played Hydras, and it felt really good. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you made it look very, very strong, and just like it used to look about a year ago when Hydraling Bane was the composition of choice for many pros.
Thank you.
I think it's been a little while since you've been into the playoffs. I think season 5 was your last appearance in the playoffs. So, who would you be most excited to get to play against in the playoffs this year?
I think it's Eric Fire again, because I don't know, but I think I gotta get my crown again, or how it's called, like you know.
Yeah. And
Well, I have to practice a lot more, I think.
how much would you say that you're practicing right now?
Not enough.
Not enough.
Maybe like on some days, not even, and like then like 2 hours or something like that, and that's like not really enough. But yeah, I will try to go get good.
Yeah. Let's see. I've got a couple more questions for you.
Sure.
Who would you not want to face against in the playoffs here? And I'll give you some names because eventually, if you continue to win out, obviously Arog Fire is probably going to be in the line of fire. But fortunately, you wouldn't have to play him right away. So you would be playing possibly against Baby Marine, Endless TV, Exo Striker, or Sly Crab. Which one of those would you least want to face next week?
I think Exo Striker.
Ah, everybody's afraid of Exo Striker. Arog Fire said the same thing.
No.
So wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, do you have anything you'd like to say to your fans? We've got a large crowd watching and cheering you on. Is there anything that you want to say to them?
Thank you for watching, and I will try to get better, and I will go to practice a lot more.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations. You are moving out of Group A in second place. We will look forward to seeing you next week in the playoffs.
Okay.
All right.
Then
Thank you so much for the interview, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
thank you. And have a nice night, everyone.
Thank you. You as well. And that is going to do it for today's production. We are so thrilled that you were able to join us. Thank you so much for dealing with all of my internet issues. I apologize profusely. Hopefully this is not going to be a reoccurring issue, but I know that we will persevere regardless. But that's going to do it again for us. Please, one more time before you go, please check out our Match Reno, !Match Reno in the chat to contribute your amount. If every single person here right now hearing this message jumped out to that link and took 45 seconds, we would have our prize pool funded for this event, and we would be so grateful. So thank you so much for considering checking that out. Of course, we have a lot of great sponsors that sponsor the Alpha X Junior Championships as well, in Team Exxon, Daemonium, Global Clan, and Sniper. So thank you so much to those fine people and organizations. If you would like to be a person that sponsors this event further, feel free to check out our Patreon and let us know how you would like to help us help the best up-and-coming players in the StarCraft 2 scene. But that's going to be it for today's production. My name is Rushy. You can find me at twitch.tv/RushySC. I'm a Master 3 Zerg, playing a lot this summer. I'm a teacher by trade, a band teacher. That's why you get to see my fun little logo back behind me. So if you like music and you like StarCraft, feel free to stop by my stream. You can catch me at Twitter as well, twitter.com/RushySC. I post all of my casting events and my streaming events there. So feel free to give me a follow. I would really appreciate that a lot. But that's going to do it for us today. Feel free to check out Group B next Saturday, where we will have 4 more players playing into our playoffs and getting us ready for our main event next Sunday. Same time, same place, right here on twitch.tv/AlphaXSC2. On behalf of Miguel and all of us here at Alpha X, so long, farewell. We look forward to seeing you in our next event coming up soon. Have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Take care.